Hi, Prime Minister. It's Siobhan Morris from CTV News. You've been such an ardent supporter of Ukraine, but there's been a lot of controversy surrounding President Zelensky's visit here, and now we've heard Vladimir Putin use some of that embarrassment in an interview with Tucker Carlson. How does it feel to know that that visit and your office's role in inviting a former Nazi to a reception is creating hardship for an ally?
Vladimir Putin chose to invade a neighboring sovereign country, violating the rights, the sovereignty, the territorial integrity of Ukraine, and violating the rules-based order that underpins the safety, the security of all of us living in democracy, in free democracies around the world. He will, of course, use whatever propaganda he can engage in, but I can tell you, Canadians will not be fooled. Canada stands with Ukraine, not just because we are friends to Ukraine, but because the rules-based order and the system of laws and the UN Charter protect all of us, not just Ukrainians. So we will continue to be there with Ukraine for as much as it takes, for as long as it takes. Unfortunately, we see the lengths to which Russian propaganda will go to try and impact public opinion, to try and twist things the way we want to. Unfortunately, we saw recently the Conservative Party of Canada, that is anchored in so many Ukrainian Canadian communities across the prairies, fall prey to Russian disinformation and misinformation and vote against a modernization of a free trade deal with Ukraine that Ukraine desperately needs, that President Zelensky asked us to support, all of us in Parliament, asked us to support so that Ukraine could rebuild and reconstruct and recover when this terrible illegal war by Putin is over. So Putin will try and distract all he likes. And unfortunately, Pierre Poilievre has fallen into his trap. But I can tell you that the Canadian government and Canadians in general will continue to stand for what is right and stand with Ukraine.
Hey, good morning, Prime Minister. Colin DeMello from Global News. On the Bell Canada layoffs of 4,800 people across the country, your Heritage Minister accused Bell Canada of breaking its promise to invest in local news after receiving $40 million in regulatory relief funding. What is your view of that company's layoffs, and what is your commitment to future government support with that company?
I'm furious. This is a garbage decision by a corporation that should know better. We've seen over the past years journalistic outlets, radio stations, small community newspapers bought up by corporate entities who then lay off journalists, change the offering, the quality of offering to people, and then when people don't watch as much or engage as much, the corporate entity says, oh, see, they're not profitable anymore, we're going to sell them off. This is the erosion not just of journalism, of quality local journalism, at a time where people need it more than ever given misinformation and disinformation, but it's eroding our very democracy. Our abilities to tell stories to each other of how people's lives are, stories that reflect our own communities and not, central offices in our biggest cities, is part of what binds this country together from coast to coast to coast. With incredible diversity of experiences, of geographies, we need those local voices. And over the past years, corporate Canada, and there are many culprits on this, have abdicated their responsibility toward the communities that they have always made very good profits off of in various ways. And they need, as a government, we have been stepping up over the past years, fighting for local journalism, fighting for investments that we can have, all the while fending off attacks from conservatives and others who say, no, you're trying to buy off journalists. We're trying to support journalism in this country and across this country. But no government can do it alone. Canadians need to demand better, as we will be demanding better from corporate leaders, like in this case Bell, that are eroding Canadians' ability to know each other, to trust each other and to trust in the country and the future we are building together. So yeah, I'm pretty pissed off about what's just happened.